It is time for the best tech inside of our home. In our last house, it was one of your favorite videos showing you everything that we did because we did go crazy on some things, but we learned some stuff from the last house and we implemented it into this house. I would say we took some of the best from the last house and we got rid of some of the stuff that was just wasteful. So let's get started. I'm gonna show you what's inside of our house. The people that bought the house from us, they had the technician come over to look how to figure out certain things and get it all connected. They said this is the dumbest smart house I've ever seen. Just like our last house, we have a bunch of wires that are coming into the house, and here is our tower. We had 3, maybe 4 towers, and they were jam-packed with stuff. It turns out a lot of that stuff was like pretty cool and it was nice, but it also was very expensive and a lot of it just didn't talk well together. So much so that somebody would ring the doorbell. It wouldn't tell me or pop up a video of them on my app until the person had stood there for like 20 seconds and then walked away. I'd be lucky if I pulled up the camera and the person was at the end of the sidewalk still. Most of the time, they're just gone. So there's one thing that we don't have control for, but we do have our smart tower here, and the thing that we would not sacrifice on is the internet. We only have 1 tower, and this rack isn't even full. There's gaps inside of it. We could fill this up. Inside of this, we have a more advanced internet system than what we had in our last house. It's by a company called Alta Labs. Have you noticed sometimes that you go into one room and the Wi-Fi is just terrible, and then you go to another room and it's faster? I'm uploading footage, I'm downloading footage. We are posting multiple YouTube videos every single week. So if the internet is slow in this room, doesn't matter how fast your internet is back at the modem, back in the tower, that back room, it's gonna make you really mad, or at least it makes me mad. So right up here, tucked away, hidden, right next to our giant metal beam that we have going through that you can't see anymore. I wish we could see the beam, I'm sorry, it's in there. Sometimes people will plug in like a wireless repeater right there. You lose quality when you use one of those boosters, where with this, we have an Ethernet cable going through the attic, coming all the way to here, and it's plugged into that. So this is not some wireless repeater. We have the full Wi-Fi coming out of there. We even have one in London's room. We have one in the piano room. We put one inside of the garage. We only drive Teslas at this point, and every single one of them does software updates for the full self-driving, for the music, for all kinds of things. And so to have 3 different vehicles, whether it's in the garage or outside, we need to have fast internet inside of here. They're all throughout the house, and before we even built the home, we sent the plans to Alta Labs, and they did a full mapping of our home, and they strategically placed each one of these base stations throughout the house. That's some planning. That takes planning from the very beginning. And if you're building a custom home and you want solid fast internet through your house, these are the kind of decisions that don't actually take that long or even cost that much money at the beginning, but it makes a huge difference. I'm really hoping for some of you who are like, this is really excessive, but also I'm hoping some of you go, huh, that's smart. I never thought about making the internet that smart. And the internet is something that no matter what, I am not sacrificing at our home. And the last thing that I'll point out with this internet is that I have an app that shows every single router on here. I don't think there's any information I'm showing you on here on the screen recording that is giving away my IP address or anything like that. But you can see my top active devices on here. You can see, like, there's my MacBook Air. We have 72 devices inside of our house right now that is connected to the internet. That is wild. I can go to the network and see what the upload, the download speed is for each one of the routers. Somebody right now in the house is on Instagram. It is not me, but that is the top active application. Are you on Instagram right now? Leslie's on Instagram. I know, I can see it on my internet app right now. Busted. You can put controls on this to be able to see what type of websites or block certain websites that you want people to not have, but you also can see the activity and what's happening across everything. Let's move on to the next smart thing inside of our home. This is one area of the new home that I'm not willing to sacrifice that was amazing in our last home. It's the shades. That was really hard to not breathe or blink, but hopefully that looked cool. We got electronic shades that we can control with our phone or just with an app. And I think we even have voice control, but I haven't set it up yet. But we didn't just do it in the piano room. These are called shades. They are not called blinds. Last time when we built the home, I called them blinds for the entire video. Blinds, 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 blinds. And it turns out they're shades, and I felt really dumb. I understand it now. These ones are kind of see-through a little bit, so they let a little bit of light in. You can kind of see outside, but the ones in the bedroom, they're basically the blackout ones. But Electronic shades that you can control with an app is kind of a must-have. It's not something that I was willing to sacrifice on. This is one of the more important things. At our last house, we had a glass door. We've documented this in a lot of our videos, but people could see inside of the glass door. Also, like I mentioned earlier, our doorbell would not work. If somebody rang the doorbell, it took forever to go through this super fancy, expensive Control4 app that we couldn't get the info. So I wanted to go simple with the doorbell. So I chose a company called Reolink. Very inexpensive, way cheaper than what you can get from some of these tech guys that do the full house installation in your home that charge you way too much for things. This is simple. You can buy it from like Costco or Walmart, different places, Amazon for like $100. And I know what some of the negatives some of you are going to say. By having some of these products and not having something like Control4, you're gonna have to have a separate app for every single product. That's true, but I actually like an app that works, that gets software updates and just does its job. If I have a video doorbell, I want it to do its freaking job. Now with my doorbell, as soon as I get to right here, it notifies me on my phone and I can pull it up and I can see them walking up. That's way different than our last house. And of course, once they push the doorbell and ring it, it's gonna notify me on my phone also, but there's 2 different points. And so usually before they even get to right here, I get on here and I go, hey, I'll be right out. They don't even have to push the doorbell because I already know they're coming. That's a doorbell that works. So yes, Reolink, this is who we used. It is not sponsored. We also used Reolink security cameras. That's the next item. You can kind of see one up there in the corner. We have a bunch of those around the house. We did do security this time. Last time the security was really hard to work with. It was hard to look inside of the app, where this one, we have our own app for the doorbell for all of the cameras all throughout the house. In the last house, I think I showed you like all my cameras. This one, I don't think I want to show you all the cameras. Just know that we have cameras all around the house, a lot of different ones. But for security reasons, I'm not going to show them all to you. Okay, I'll show you one more. We've got this security camera up here on the side of the house in the front looking at all of our driveway. We have multiple cameras, just know, and they work and they're simple. If you're going to get something that does the job the best and gets it done right. Instead of using a product from a company that does so many things kind of mediocre, get something that's the best at what they do in the category that they do it. And yeah, I have to have a separate app for my doorbell. Big whoop. Yes, we're still staying here for the next tech item. This is my gate, and I put way too much thought into this gate. It does look cool, it's tall. I can't look over this right here. This is a great gate, but there's some thought that was put into this. Now, let me put in my code so you don't see it. When I punch in my code, it unlocks this little lock thing for 5 seconds. Push the door open, and then check this out. It closes on its own. It's slow, I get it, but it does close. It goes all the way here until that latches. But one thing that I love about this is that it's a never slam door. So I can just take it and go, I'm so mad at the world. Ah! Look at that. That's pretty good, right? That's pretty good. I love my gate. And that's the beautiful thing about our yard, is that that's the gate, that's the front door for everybody, but in reality, this is the front area. This is what we see inside of our house. We can look out of the glass windows and see this, and we even have a doorbell over there, and then this is our actual front door. So I love this courtyard. It's one of the best things about this home that we did, and it all starts with the privacy and the security of our gate. I can also use an app on my phone to unlock that gate. So it is smart. It's a small thing, but it's the small details in a custom home that really make it special. Tech inside of the garage, we got a few things that I think are interesting. First, we've got the Tesla wall charger, and this one specifically has this gateway, which makes it so that I can charge the house from the Cybertruck. This is Tesla wall charger number 2, Tesla wall charger number 3. We also have this car charger. It is from Span. This works with non-Teslas and Tesla. Also inside of our garage, in a very messy closet with mattresses in here, we do have 2 Span panels. This is connected to the internet. It is hardwire connected to the internet. I can monitor and control every single breaker in my house just from my app. And where this comes into play, I can set things to where if the power is out and I have a limited amount of battery or solar that's running the house, I can say, these are the critical loads, these are the nice to have if we have plenty of power, and these are the things if you just want to have everything on there. I can select all of that so that I can manage it. And if my Cybertruck is running the house, which it will do in a power outage, obviously there's limitations with how big that battery is. If I'm running all of the ACs, all of the lights, all of the refrigerator, then that power is only gonna last for an hour or two. But if I can turn off most of the ACs and then maybe just have the refrigerators going and have the lights not on, then maybe I can last all night long by having the house cooled enough with one AC, but also have the refrigerator cold the whole time. And then when the morning comes, I can either recharge the Tesla, or if I had solar, I could fill the battery back up with solar. So these panels are very, very smart. And this is something that you're going to start seeing in a lot of homes that are new homes. That's when I think it makes the most sense to put this in, is when it's a new home and you put this in at the beginning for installation. It's an incremental increase in cost, but the smart usability in your home goes up by a ton. So yeah, I've documented this a lot. This is not sponsored by Span, but I really do like these smart panels, and it's a must-have and something that we did in our last house that we had to do in this house. We didn't use the same company that we did last time for speakers. We chose some different things, and before I show you the rest of the speakers, here's us 8 months ago when we went to pick out our speakers and learn more about the company that actually makes them. The best part of the entire home build process is about to go down, and if you know me, you know what I'm talking about. This is a place called Origin Acoustics, and we are going to get our speakers. We learned a lot from our last house. We probably had like 60 different speakers in our house. We had speakers in our shower. We're gonna take the best of what we had and we're gonna make it even better, and we're gonna show you the tech behind it. We're at a company in Las Vegas called Origin Acoustics. They are the #2 largest speaker selling company in the world, and they happen to be headquartered out of Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm kind of wanting black walls inside of my studio now. Look how cool this looks. Look if it's behind there. Oh, found a speaker, another speaker. What do you know? Are we doing this in our house? No, not yet. Maybe later. Maybe once our budget increases a little bit. Speakers are hidden and flush. They're up against the wall, perfectly fit into this. And when you put the art on with magnets, there's many ways that you can hide speakers in your house. Look at this guy. That is actually a bunch of speakers, like a super fancy, expensive one. Same with this by a company called That, however you say that. This room right here that I'm sitting in, this setup with these 4 speakers, and then there's 2 towers, these ones right here, it is around $300,000 just for this. This definitely looks like it's from outer space. Okay, this is the top. This is what it looks like on me. I don't know why I'm doing that. That's not needed. This is a very expensive speaker. I wanna say this pair is $160,000 for this one and the other one that looks just like it over there, just for these 2 speakers. But look at these speakers. It wraps all the way around, and the crazy thing is you can make this directional. So if you want it to go right exactly where you're sitting, or over to there, or fill up the entire room, you can choose that. We're not doing this. We have a good budget for speakers, but it's not quite this good. So this is our house layout, and they had an engineer, a sound engineer, optimize it so that all of the sound works perfectly and hits all of those spots. Did you know that that's somebody's job, a sound engineer? If you really want the sound quality to be good inside of your house, it helps to have some experts look into the kind of speakers that you're getting and then figure out where do we place them, how do we direct the sound. This is not a piece of art right here. This is the TV. Watch how this opens. How about that? The TV, this is an LG OLED TV, which you know are my favorite TVs, but these are some of the top of the line speakers right here. Consider this like a sound bar right here in the front, and I love that it moves like that. But the theme of today is going to be, how can we have the best sound without really being in your face? This is very loud, but it's also a piece of art. But I don't really love the idea of just having subwoofer big speakers just sitting in different rooms. So let me show you some of the cool things that we are actually doing in the house. One of the areas that costs you the most money is the installation. I'm telling you, it is like a mystery. The AV guys, you can get quotes from like 3 different places and have a difference in like hundreds of thousands of dollars. That's what happens. This Origin Acoustics company, this is a speaker hole. You see this, watch this. I just pulled the speaker out of the wall. This is a toolless installation product. So usually think about standing on the top of a ladder and like taking this and putting in the ceiling, and then they're putting in like 6 different screws, and then you're like permanently in there. Or if you fall off the ladder because you're only using one hand, that happens all the time. And so the AV guys will charge a lot of money for install cost. But with this product, the Origin Acoustics product, all you have to do is put this thing in, and then you can go in. See if I can do it myself. This is my first time ever. Whoa. Here we go. And then I turn it. Bam. This one right here also is like a thin fit one. So if you don't have a lot of space, in some places, if you've got like a 2x4 behind there, you might need to have the flat one in there. But how cool that all of these speakers, there's different options and they're interchangeable that you can switch out and you don't have to get a screwdriver and screw those things in. I'm pretty pumped about that. All right, wanna see something cool? This is a wooden wall, not the style we're doing in our home, but here's a speaker right here. There's also a speaker right there. You might not have noticed it at first. From a distance, your eye doesn't go to it. You just want it to go to the TV or to other things that you want to point out. That totally blends in when you get a little far back. That's crazy. Same speaker, totally different look. They have a printer that can print. And what if your wallpaper looks like this? They were able to scan the image, and so that when this goes on the wall, your speaker just blends right in. That helps with the design. Some of the way the speakers go, you can have it kind of almost like under the drywall, so it even seems more flush, like that right there. But what a good idea. Let's just color, let's print the images on here. It doesn't cost that much money to get these on here. And then whether it's on the walls or the ceiling, your speakers are more hidden so that from an architectural design side of things, you can focus on the things that you want people to focus on visually, but you still get to enjoy all the benefits of incredible audio. How's it going over here?
Fantastic. You're doing such a good job.
I am?
Yeah.
Are you as excited about speakers as I am?
I do love speakers, but I will say this is one of the areas that you love so much. There's a couple things in the house that he's super excited about. This, I would say the shower, and I would say some of the cool things we're doing in the back spa area.
The spa area, that's true. This is true. Speakers is one. So right now, can you find the speaker? I am 300 feet away from the speakers. All right, this is where the speaker is. That's how far away we were. And these are the speakers. Two 15-inch subwoofers, and then this soundbar right here. But it's actually not much louder right here than it is down there. You barely lose any decibels. There's some sort of science behind it, but I'm not the guy to tell you how it works. Whew, that was the loudest I've heard Marshmello since the actual concert that I went to with Marshmello when he was on stage. This is more of a scientific person than I am. How does it sound the same all the way down there as it does right here?
So the difference with what we're using is a planar magnetic ribbon tweeter, a flat piece of aluminum on the inside here. It's moving back and forth. I can design a waveguide dispersion pattern, and what that does, a 80 dB decibel rating, which gives me more output potential on the lower frequency side to give you the output throw and horizontal coverage.
That's exactly what I said earlier.
100%.
Exactly. So there's a lot of science. I hope you followed all of that, every single thing. There's a quiz at the end. The next thing that we're doing inside of our home, it's gonna be in our courtyard, which I'm really excited about. We'll show you in this video what it looks like installed. But right now, we're trying to come up with the concept for it, but let's show you what we're doing.
These are planter boxes with speakers and subwoofers in it, which is crazy to me. I didn't even know this technology existed. We're gonna have—
It's because it didn't exist until like a few months ago.
Is that true? Just a few months ago?
Yeah, Cedia, right?
We built these a few months ago.
Okay.
Yeah, they just barely built these a few months ago.
That's amazing.
And now
We're lucky.
it was such a hit at the audio visual like conference in Colorado that they're like, oh, we definitely need to roll this out. So we are gonna be some of the first, not the first, but some of the first people that have this. A planter box with subwoofers in it.
We're gonna have matte black, and we're gonna do two of these. They're gonna be 7 feet long, and it's gonna really work well with our landscaping in the courtyard area. So we'll have it in front of the rock wall and then on the back side of London's room as well. And it's just gonna like pull everything together. I wanted this anyway for here. And so to the added benefit of having speakers in is just fantastic.
What's the real reason why you wanna do it?
The real reason?
Yeah.
Because I wanna blast music?
Because I like to party.
No, the real reason.
Why? The real reason
You know
for
why.
what?
The real reason why you wanna have speakers in the planter box.
Because I want the plants to be happy?
That's it.
I do want the plants to be happy.
Scientifically,
Yes,
she told me
there
earlier,
are
it
some
makes
studies.
plants
There
happier.
are studies. Jason's gonna put up some studies right here showing that your plants are happier when it has music, because I love music and my plants will too. And it's gonna grow and it's gonna be gorgeous.
Okay. Watch this. We have LED lights. Look at that blue. There we go, my favorite color. We're going to have water running to it. We're gonna have a drip line going. We can just enjoy the music and enjoy the beauty of the plants without having to think about watering it every single day. When we go out of town, we would hire somebody to come and water our plants in our last house. That doesn't make sense. Before you do the drywall, they can take this box and stick it in between a wall. They can put it up in the ceiling. In fact, right up here, you can see that little tiny like 3-inch hole right there. I'm becoming a speaker salesman here. Basically, I'm really excited to get speakers. It's gonna sound amazing. I wish that we could take this $300,000 system over here, just like next to our bed, because it looks cool. Leslie's shaking her head yes right now. She's actually.
No, I'm not.
Also, one thing we didn't show you, these are the outdoor speakers. They're very pretty. We can choose whatever color we want. I think we're gonna go with this like rose goldish. Champagne, you're calling it.
Yes, I think we were gonna do black initially, but I like how this blends into like the rocks and it's not as noticeable, but it's like sculptural and they sound amazing. So I'm excited to see these in the courtyard.
Okay, I know at the end of the video we said we were gonna get those rose gold or bronze looking ones, but we didn't. We got matte black ones in our backyard and we have 2 of them outside, and this is our little patio area that we love with the sauna, with the cold plunge. We're using a music streaming service called Vessel that connects all of the different speakers inside of the house. I can tell Alexa to turn on certain ones. I can also use Apple AirPlay. So I can just go in here and choose spa speaker. Oh, my neighbors are gonna love that. So we have that speaker there, but we also have this one right here. We were really smart about the way this is positioned, where yes, the speakers are loud, but they are directional and they're able to just funnel the sound in this area. Oh, then I pause it. It is so loud and so good out here. It's our little special area. Also outside, we did put 2 speakers up in the patio that shoot downward and spread the sound throughout the yard pretty well. Now inside of the house, the speakers don't look all that sexy. They don't look all that amazing, especially when I'm just filming close-up shots of it. It's kind of boring looking, but as we showed you in their shop, each one of them, you can put in big speakers or small speakers into the same circular spot. That's the genius of these Origin speakers. They did not pay us to make this video. They did give us a discount on some of the speakers. Let's move on to the next best tech inside of our home. For the thermostats, instead of again going with a super expensive one that connects into one app, the Control 4, we just went with what a good, lower cost, but good, smart thermostat is. We went with the Ecobee. It's good. It looks good on the wall. It has its own app. We can control it. It's smart, manages different things in the home, easy to use. So yeah, nothing too fancy. Ecobee, again, go simple. Use what works. This one works. This is our sauna. We have done a 17-minute video on the sauna and the cold plunge. I really like this, but this also is something that is very smart. It has its own app. I control it as soon as I come back from my workout. Before I even leave my car, I turn this thing on and it gets rolling. It is very smart. It has speakers, all the stuff. There's a video you can go watch of all of it, but this is a smart addition that we didn't do in the last home that's way better. I love the sauna. It's really hot, but I love it. It's the best. We have the robotic vacuum that is set up inside of the house. It has its own drip line that goes into the sewer, and it also has its own water line that goes into this. I never have to replace the dirty water with clean water. It does it itself. That's something you have to plan for, which we did, and it is smart. And according to my app, we have used this for 4,000 meters total area covered that it's cleaned in the last few months that we've lived here for a total operating time of 65 hours. We have run it 94 times inside of the house. I love this thing. I set it up at nighttime sometimes just to go clean certain rooms to vacuum and mop the floor. This is not sponsored right now. They did sponsor a video in the past, but we planned for this. It's smart and it's something that I would do in every custom home that I build. Plan out your vacuums and mops. In our last house, we had something that was really smart that we decided to do again in this house. This is a faucet inside of the kitchen. A lot of people wouldn't think of this as being smart. Obviously, for years, people have had this where it's like, oh, look at that. I'm not touching it. That's not really a smart feature. It's a nice feature. You can also like pull this and do whatever. It's a kitchen faucet. But does your kitchen faucet have an app? Well, this one does. In the app, you can see all of the Kohler connected devices. We've got a kitchen faucet, pantry faucet, laundry faucet, Lincoln's room, and then the big shower that's in the master bedroom. But I can touch this right here, kitchen faucet, and start it. Ta-da! Using an app is cool, but how about voice? Alexa, have Kohler turn on the kitchen faucet. Look at that. Alexa, have Kohler turn off kitchen faucet. There we go. But it's not just the kitchen faucet. The app also is controlling the shower in Lincoln's room and also the shower in our master bedroom. I call it the big shower for obvious reasons. This has the Anthem display and setup. It's got brains, it's connected to the internet. It tells you how many gallons you're using, but it also has a smart feature where it has up to 9 different preset settings. So up to 9 different people can have a setting for their shower for the exact shower heads that they want to turn on and turn off. But I can also use voice activated with this. Alexa, turn on big shower. Look at this. It just turns on. It turns on the shower heads that I want to have turned on. It turns it to the preset temperature, which is 105 degrees. Alexa, turn off big shower. Isn't that cool? Voice controlled shower. This thing is smart. Right now, our floor is 81 degrees. One of my favorite things about a custom home is having heated floors, especially in the winter. It hasn't been winter yet, but I'm excited for the winter when you walk into your bathroom and typically the floor is ice cold. Middle of the night, you need to go use the restroom real quick at 2 in the morning. It wakes you up when the floor is icy cold and your bare feet are walking on it. If you're not using slippers, with this, it's hot, it's warm. That is smart. That took some planning. We had to run tubes through the entire tile floor. Heated floors are a win. Also, this is our smart toilet. And by smart, I mean look at all of the options that we have on the touchscreen. So many options. This is literally a little iPad that you don't have to worry about your kid taking it to play Roblox or Minecraft on, because all you can do is wash your bottom or clean your bottom. Super smart, favorite thing in the house. This is our dishwasher. This is also our dishwasher. How would a dishwasher be smart? Well, these are by SKS, which is owned by LG, and all of our appliances in here are SKS. And over here, this is our SKS kitchen. This is our stovetop and our oven, also smart connected. It has a big old touchscreen, but it's connected to my app. And then our refrigerator and freezer. Woo. This whole thing is connected via our app. So you can control a lot of different things. You can control the temperature inside of here. I can also see when the dishwasher is turned on. I get a notification when the dishwasher is turned off. My LG TV is OLED. The TV is also connected in the LG app, and I can also monitor, turn it on, do different controls. So that's something that we had in our last house was the TV control, but we did not have smart controls on our kitchen appliances. And I will tell you, it is super helpful to get notifications and to understand where your dishes are being cleaned or not cleaned, and also be able to control the temperature in the many different refrigerator and freezers that we have. So very smart kitchen. We have a smart kitchen thanks to LG and SKS. Man, we have a lot of smart stuff. Are you guys tired of hearing about smart stuff? This is something that many of you may not think about. If you want to save money and cost, we did things from an installation standpoint. We also did things from the doors and windows to make sure that they're higher quality and they're commercial grade, so that the seals are really tight on these doors so that the air doesn't escape out of little parts of the windows or the crevices. There's a way to test this scientifically. Right now we are setting up what's called a blower test. We should have a very low number that comes into the home and escapes through little crevices and through air and stuff like that. We turn the fan on and it's connected to this little dial right here that tells you all of the stats. We plugged it in for 2 seconds and he can already tell that there's a door open somewhere. He knew it. Look at that door is wide open. All right, door is shut. The number's a little higher than he was expecting. Now we do have a few things. We're gonna go around and look at all of the openings. We do have holes in the ceiling right now because we haven't put speakers in yet. So we're gonna run this test again once everything really is done and we're moving in. I can feel the air. That's interesting. You feel that? Is that normal? Checking the seal on this bad boy. We got a little bit of leakage on that window right there, even though it's sealed up. These are our numbers so far. So the number was really high, so high that it was beyond what is the requirement for the inspection. We would have failed the inspection, which I was a little surprised because I'm like, we did so much to keep the air out. We did one little change. Over here in the fireplace, we closed the damper on it. We're not using the fireplace, we don't need to open. We closed the damper on the fireplace. That right there was enough to bring the numbers down to well within approved range of how the air escapes in the home. So we're at 2.9. We are below what even is what the city wants. So that's good. So yeah, I'm proud to say that our house is very efficient and we don't have a lot of air escaping and it's scientifically proven. So That's gonna save us money on air conditioning in the summer and heating in the winter, and it should keep more of the scorpions and little bugs out because our house is just tighter. I love it. This is cool. And now for this one, it's something that you might not consider, but is crazy important and something that we didn't really have set up in our last house, and I'm really excited about. This, you see this green light flashing right here? It says drop on it. This is very important for our water inside of our house. All of you guys have water heaters in your house, I'm sure. This is a tankless water heater. Sometimes you have the ones with the tanks that are really big. You need to flush these once a year. Your regular water heater, you need to flush more often. But this right here is where the magic happens. This is a ton of salt because I bought too much salt, that's on me. But we do have a water softener in here, which is really good for most houses. Also, I learned something new that I think you might learn today too. This is a pressure valve that is part of the plumbing of the home. Every home is required to have it, at least here in Utah, because the water coming from the city into your home can be at different pressures. It's a lot like your blood pressure. Like it could be high sometimes and it could be low sometimes. So I have an app on my phone that is connected to this. Yes, this is connected to the Wi-Fi. This is the pressure valve. This is what we've set. These are supposed to be good for 15 years, but in reality, sometimes these fail in 1 or 2 years, and then you get pressure in your house that is crazy high. Right now, our pressure is at 50 PSIs coming into the house. This is measuring that, and every single night for 10 minutes, this takes our house and it kind of shuts off the water and it does a slow leak test to see what's going on throughout the house. And then down here in many places throughout the house, wherever there is water, what happens if your water heater just starts leaking on the ground? If you're out of town, or even if you're at your house, you don't come into this closet in your garage that often. This is going to sense the leak and notify the app through that hub, and then it's gonna tell me on my app that it sensed a leak. And what's crazy, this will even shut off the water to the home. What's even crazy, and it's happened a couple of times, is that if there's a leak that is sensed in your home, it will come into here and this will shut off all of the water going into the house so you don't get a big flood in your house. So this is one of my favorite things inside of the house. What's unique about this is most people have the salt that they go pick up at the store and they throw inside of this basin and makes your water soft, makes your hair feel a little bit better when you wash it. But this upper side of it is actually a filtration side of things. What if you have pesticides inside of your water? What if you have chemicals inside of your water? This is an extra layer. It will filter out those things so that your water is even safer. I wanted to do a little experiment. How about this guy? Have you seen one of these inside of your house? This is the most common style of water heater in people's homes. Did you know that you are supposed to flush these? I have flushed my tankless water heater or my actual water heater a grand total of 0 times in my home ownership time, which is like 15 years of owning homes. So here's the plan. This is a Sawzall. It's been a while since I've cut something open. We just went over to the place and said, can we have one of those? They said, yeah. They took a forklift and threw it in the back of the truck. What are the effects of hard water where you live? What does that do to your water tank? And what kind of stuff is the water going through before it gets onto your skin out of the shower? I'm already kind of grossed out about this job. So close, buddy. I don't know about this house. I don't know if it had a water softener or not. I don't know if they flushed it appropriately, but all of this right here is just a collection of hard water. There's so much in here. This thing is gross. Oh, look at all that. Just keep grabbing it. This is the reason why you need to flush your water heater sometimes every year, depending on the product, but also it helps to have a filtration system. For most homes, this is the last stop before the shower water is coming out on your hair to clean your hair. This is what it goes through, this stuff right here. Do you want that in your hair? Probably not. That's really dirty and gross. So that's basically our home, but what are some of the things that we didn't do that I wish we would have done? The number one thing that I can already see you guys in the comments talking about it is we didn't do smart lighting inside of the house. Lighting controls, you can use Lutron, there's different brands. Where we had it in our last house, you could just tell the house to turn off and all of the lights would go off. That was such a useful feature that I definitely miss inside of this house. We pre-wired the entire house, so the wires are running to all the lights. That was one of those things where I'm like, maybe we don't spend the money on it right now and cut the budget on that line item, and then we can decide in the future if we ever want to add it. Putting the regular light switches are pretty inexpensive. If you guys have suggestions on good smart lighting, I haven't felt good with any of the options that we've looked at, so I'm open to your feedback. Let me know. That's something that I do want to add into the future. Another thing that we don't have in this house that was smart in the last house was we did have a movie room. That was really nice. I guess it's not really smart. It's just a room that we had. I really miss our movie room. We made do with what we have with one living room, but it was really nice to just go upstairs and watch football on a Saturday and blast the broadcast very loud, and I could yell and scream. I know that's not really like as much of a smart feature, but I do miss that of our last house. I also miss having a golf simulator in our garage. That was pretty awesome, having a golf simulator. I wish we had it. No, Lincoln doesn't live with us anymore. He's gone on a church mission, and even when he comes back, he's going straight to college 4 hours away from here, and we'll be playing golf. Personally, I miss the golf simulator. I wish we had it. Also at our last house, we had a swimming pool, and it had some smart controls on the swimming pool. I do miss having a pool because it's beautiful to look at, and also I enjoyed getting in it, but I don't miss the costs that were associated with having a swimming pool. I do enjoy going to the community pool and getting into it, which I do get in that pool, and there's hardly ever anybody in it because we live in a community with older retired people, it turns out, and so it's super quiet. And even in the winter, I go to the indoor pool and I can swim laps, and it's great. It's better than our pool that we had at our last house, but that is a smart thing that we had in our last house that gives our last house definitely an advantage over this house. So that's our house. I hope you guys enjoyed it. There's a smart breakdown. This video might be an hour long, and if it is, you're welcome. What? Did that scare you?
Did you say my name?
Yeah.
Was I supposed to say something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, you answered the question. You said you're on Instagram, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know, I could see it on here. Instagram, see, now you're not on there anymore. It just went off.
Hello.
Oh, I hate bad tech. I don't even know when it's done sometimes. I'm just pausing. I did blink on that one for the first time. I apologize. I know you think I'm a professional, but I did blink. I'm a little embarrassed to admit it. I'm sorry, I will do better. Somebody was on TikTok earlier and it was not me. It had to have been my girls, even though I think they're in their room asleep. Whew. Also, side note, look at this company over here. They got a putting green. I want that.